What is gone and will never be back? The chances I chose to prioritize work over family. Missed so many opportunities to spend more time with my kids. Trying to take advantage of it more now. I tell my younger friends and coworkers, who are just now having kids, that I don't miss not being at a meeting on a weekend, but I sure as hell miss holding my son's hand, playing in the sandbox with them, etc. Children growing up with daily technology in their lives. We used to play outside every day, ride our bikes, have adventures in the woods, and play Legos. Now, my son wants to sit in front of his PC or iPad or iPhone all day every day. The original internet. Modems with the dial-up sound, AIM, IRC, Napster, Weber Rings, GeoCities, Angel of Fire, and Yahoo Games. That feeling that you were leaving your real life and entering a new frontier. It was much smaller and a lot less all-pervasive. There is no offline anymore, we are all connected 24/7. The more we are all connected, the lonelier it feels. Videotapes, night at the movies, 35mm cameras, social skills, common sense, tail fins, evening dinners without social media interference, movie rental stores, getting together with people in person, brick and mortar stores. Need I go on? That childhood fear. Whether it be reading creepy stories, watching scary movies, going to haunted houses in October, jump scares, horror gory films, even going to abandoned places. I don't know if it was puberty, or my mind being so fucked. But I never get that fear anymore, I miss it so much. Ghosts, demons, scary stuff, and horror, always a huge part of my childhood. I feel like I'm missing such emotions that I can't return without numbing myself. My childhood innocence. Once a kid on the playground explained how babies were made, it went downhill from there. Curses Natalie, you have stole something I will never get back. This is why boys rule and girls drool. My bedroom at my parents' house. Shortly after I moved out, my brother took my room, because it's farthest from my parents' room. My room still has a lot of my stuff in it that I want back eventually, but like I don't have room for a proper library in my current apartment. My faith in people. Like holy shit, what the hell has been wrong with people these past couple of years? I know people have always sucked, but lately, I am so tired of people now, and it's changed me a lot. I used to actually want to get back outside and spend time with people again, but now I just want to live alone and be alone. Bulk candy at the grocery store. My kids and I used to love chomping down the SKPs, those jelly beans that fell into the little grate as people filled their bags. My grandkids won't believe that we just picked up candies out of an open tray that everyone breathed on and put them in our mouths. But we did. Those were the days. Easily obtainable ancient energy sources to kickstart the next evolutionary cycle of development. We had wood, which got replaced by coal. Coal got replaced by petrol. Petrol is now being replaced by energy powered from sources outside this planet or by powers influenced from outside this planet. If society goes wrong and we go back in the Dark Ages, there isn't going to be a second attempt, as we won't have access to cheap coal laying in abundance on top of the hills or petrol just bubbling out of the earth to realize that it's a great source of energy. Robin Williams, Frank Sinatra, and Tupac Shakur. They are gone, as well as so many others, but their memory will live on. I would have liked to meet any of these men. McDonald's ashtrays. I recall being in a McDonald's in North Carolina about 15 years ago. Being from further north, on the East Coast, where smoking indoors had been banned since the 90s, it felt extremely weird and foreign to me, sitting there eating my QPC in a cloud of smoke. There was a sleeve of aluminum ashtrays on top of the garbage can, when I was leaving, and I remember thinking to myself, that I should take them, because they would be a relic and collector's item someday. Sadly, I did not. Pizza Hut. Now I'm specifically talking about when you could eat inside of these pizza restaurants and play video games. They used to have a salad bar and all this cool stained glass. I truly miss those. Butterfinger. The original. They sold the candy bar and changed the recipe, so it doesn't taste anything like it used to. It's a tragedy. Going to the video store on a Friday night to rent the latest new release on VHS or DVD. My kids will never understand the excitement that was Blockbuster, or the frustration of the movie you want being out of stock. I know Redbox exists, but it is not the same. We never use Redbox and just stream at home. Back in the day there was not any other alternative option. If the local video store did not have it, you didn't watch it. Adobe Flash. I was so happy to see this expire. Where I work, there were still some people stubbornly refusing to replace Flash-based resources up until the day it was decommissioned. Adobe Animate is basically the replacement to that, but it's just not the same. My hairline. Baldness is reality, unfortunately. I started balding at 17, way before anyone ever deserves to, but it's reality. I'm 19, and the feeling of buzzing a balding head is probably better than crack, to be honest. Mall culture. Malls are still a thing where I live. Woodfield Mall in the Chicago suburbs, for instance, is still thriving. Guess, it depends on how big it is, and if it's in a heavily populated area. My dad met my mom at the mall. At a Spencer's. Yesterday. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. I've heard this before, as you can't prove anything that happened yesterday, you can't predict what will happen tomorrow. Now is the only thing that's real. Privacy. Online privacy maybe. Between doorbell cameras, dash cams, or just filming people in public, nothing is really guaranteed to be private. If you have your phone on you, your whereabouts are being recorded at all times. Sure, it doesn't really matter unless you're committing a crime. It's kinda just a part of life now, but trying to avoid all of it would be enough to make someone crazy. I try not to think about it too much, but I'm aware that nothing is really private anymore, especially if you live in a populated area. My trust in people. I've been trying to work past it through sheer force of will, but it's just so difficult. I like to feel like I'm in control of my situation, which is why I struggle, because I know that if I want a meaningful connection, I need to surrender some control, show some vulnerability, and hope it doesn't get used against me, but I haven't met anyone who I feel confident enough about for that, as everyone in the past has left me disappointed at one point or another. I would have said mullets and rat tails, but my barber has indicated to me that these are making a comeback. God help us all. One of my co-workers has a full-grown mullet right now. He got a written warning last year for coming into work in regular street clothes. It was bullshit, because he came in to deal with a massive emergency, when he had been taking time off and shouldn't have even been called. He literally drove 3 hours from his parents' cabin to save the day, and he got written up. Anyway, it really pissed him off. So, he went over our corporate dress code policy and decided that he'd grow a mullet as it technically complied with the company dress code. We only started migrating back to the office in the last few weeks. He got a written warning on his second day, which he immediately conference called HR to get it rescinded, which he did. The only failure was he still doesn't know who filed the complaints in the first place, just that it was the same person.